You asked for it. We're just going to share the Facebook video so you can all join in and watch. We want you to remember, we will check your comments through the show, so if you want to jump in on the conversation, we love that. We love to hear the feedback from you.
I'm not seeing it yet.
We're almost ready to go with tonight's topic and show.
My end is live.
There we go, I've got it.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
Is it okay?
Share now.
All right, we're just doing the last share here. Make sure we share me, Austin. All right, we decided not to start with any music this week because last week we started with Thriller and Sony shut us down, so no music intro for us tonight on You Asked For It on Jess FM and Jess TV. We shared here.
Getting there. We're almost there.
There we go. It looks like we are all shared on our social media. We are live and we are ready to go. So tonight's episode we're calling Drag Me to Hell. And we'll get into that topic. And we're here with a special guest. Well, first of all, I'm your host, Levi Cox, with
And I'm Austin Walsh, co-host, partner in crime.
For You Asked For It. And our special guest tonight is Carter.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you, Carter.
I'm excited to be here.
We've worked together on lots of projects, but not the radio show yet, so this is fun to collaborate again. So, Austin, tell the listeners and viewers how they can get a hold of us and how they can listen.
So you can check us out on www.facebook.com/jessfm as well as www.jessfm.ca.
All right, so Carter, to get our guests familiar with you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a lifeguard. I work full-time over on the West Side Pool, and I do that as my day job, essentially, and then drag is kind of like my nightlife. Whenever there's a drag show, I leave work, slip into drag, go do a little bit of shows here and there. I love a lot of theater work, so I try to go to theater shows as well. And
you make it sound easy. Slip into drag. I wish it was that easy.
Slip into drag, just about 2-3 hours worth of work, and then ready to go.
Just a little lip gloss and press on nails, good to go.
Yeah, walk out the front door.
Carter, did you move to Lethbridge to go to school?
Yeah, I moved to Lethbridge 2 years ago, originally to go to university here. I tried to take theater, and I did about a semester of it, and then I decided maybe schooling isn't really what I want to be doing at this point in my life. So I took a gap semester, so to speak, and tried again the following year at college and business school, and then realized school still is not for me. I don't know what had changed, so I slipped out of that as well, and then I've just been working full-time since.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was just curious. I was like, I wonder what brought you to Lethbridge. Yeah. Lethbridge, if you don't know, we're in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and we are known for our schools. So a lot of smaller community people move into Lethbridge, and typically all my friends are from a smaller community, me and Austin included. So it's like these small communities move into Lethbridge. A lot of times it is to go to schools. We're the college, university, hair schools. So
you either like move here for school or work, or you fall in love with somebody who is here for school or work. So
a lot of our listeners are worldwide. So I just like to kind of give a little backstory because they may not know where we are. But we're rural Alberta, Canada. So we are we're having some untypical weather lately. So you'll notice we're in t-shirts, sleeveless. We're feeling good about this weather lately.
Oh yeah, finally warm again. Little bit of break from the snow we got there for a week or two.
It felt like winter had come early, and we are not fans of that. So
it's just so funny too, because like everywhere else in the world, it's like still warm pretty much, except for here.
Yeah, and that's why it's like give that context, that our winter's coming.
Yeah, we got a little bit of warmth.
So lifeguarding, did you lifeguard like for a long time?
Yeah, I started lifeguarding as soon as I turned 16. Well, I turned 16 in October, so the following summer, as soon as that hit, I started lifeguarding, did all my courses, and did one summer, took a little break because it was an outdoor pool back home, and then I worked for another summer, and then I moved here and got hired with the company here within, I think, 2 weeks of living in Lethbridge.
I bet you've always been popular at the pool.
Yes. Definitely one of those crazy people that everyone tends to know who he is.
You really fill out a Speedo, hey?
Yeah.
No, you're just so personable, and you're so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you did the youth stage at Lethbridge Pride last year, and you're entertaining. So I bet
Yeah.
the kids really love you. And do you do swim lessons?
Yeah, I taught swimming lessons when I came down here, and now I have a position called an esteem team.
Okay.
So essentially my job is to take in all the kids who are struggling in swimming lessons, whether they're ahead, behind, having difficulties learning a certain skill, and I take those guys under my wing essentially for their class and just teach them one-on-one and just help them get better so they can continue with the rest of their class.
That's rewarding.
Very cool.
It's very rewarding.
Mentoring's so cool.
Yes.
When you can grow something.
I love mentoring children.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like fun to listen to somebody when you can like death drop into the pool or something.
Yeah.
Definitely have some chaotic tactics for teaching, that's for sure.
Carter is very talented in drag and always like flailing around and dancing. You're like a giraffe that just collapses. to
I
the
have
ground.
very long limbs. It's very much like watching a giraffe kind of do some splits and things like that every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could do splits, but
You're
I'm
very
sure they're
entertaining
coming.
to watch.
they're coming.
I never thought about that, but maybe you're so good at death dropping because you can practice in the pool. You were like falling into the pool. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I've slipped on deck enough times as a lifeguard that it's kind of just come naturally now.
You just bend one knee backwards and let her go.
Yeah.
You are very tall, and I think that's why it worked when we did a group number together because all three of us are actually quite tall men.
The height worked
It
out.
worked out, so it makes a good girl group. So, I one of the things you mentioned, we performed together on the weekend at Drag Me to Hell, which we had Sophie Wright on last week on the show in preparation to get you to come out to Drag Me to Hell, and I gotta say, the response was overwhelming. Drag Me to Hell sold out in 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was sold out 15 minutes after the doors had opened, and we were chaotically trying to find all the spare chairs, going, how many more people can we fit in this room?
Yeah.
Like, put it to capacity.
That's crazy. And then everyone always says, oh, I wish I would have known about this. Tell me about the next one. I'm like, it's next year. So when we talk about knowing about these things and hear about them after, you got to be like searching, looking, and you got to like follow the Club DD page. You got to
Subscribe to the emails because they do send out emails.
They
too.
do send out emails. There's Theater Outre has a bunch of plays coming up. Or listen to You Asked For It, because I will always keep you informed in the
Weekly from Monday, 7 till 8 Mountain Standard Time.
what are the queer happenings of Lethbridge and theater and parties. And I like festivals. I want people to know about them so they can attend them because Lethbridge actually has a lot of great events and things to do. There's no reason to be bored in the city. There's always
No.
something, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta like be on it because our venues are small and they sell out in like literally 15 minutes. So
A little ahead of topic, but we got the dates potentially for the Casino Drag Show.
Yeah.
And that's another one that people are always like, tell me about the next one. So I don't think it's till February.
It comes up in April.
So we're not going to say the dates yet because I'm not sure.
It's not 100% set, but it always happens in April.
So watch for the Casino Diva Cabaret this April where you'll see all three of us performing.
maybe another Bananarama review.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to reunite. If you saw the promo picture I used to promote the show tonight, it shows Carter, Austin, and I as our male counterparts, and then as our female drag personas. Your persona's name is
Aria Ivory.
Aria Ivory. Can you tell me how you came up with the name Aria Ivory?
So I was trying to figure out a drag name for quite some time, and I watched, this was the time when Pretty Little Liars was very popular, hadn't ended yet, and I loved Aria, the character. And I had this dress at my house with heels and a wig, and I threw it all on, and my friend said, you look like Aria from Pretty Little Liars. And I said, okay, I really like that. And about a week later, I'm like, okay, my first name's Aria, let's think of a last name. And Ivory just tended to flow inside of it, and I thought, oh, eventually I'll have the House of Ivory going on. And
Okay. I like that. I thought,
Aspiring mother.
I thought it was because you were so white. I really did. And like
Ivory for the Ivory Queens up here. That's my shade of foundation, too, so it does work out.
I really was like Aria. I thought of like Ariana Grande, even though it wasn't quite the same. And then Ivory is like you're pretty white.
Ivory, it's the
Yeah,
skin
I like
tone.
that, Karen.
But I guess when you worked in the pools in the summer, you'd be more
Yeah,
Definitely got a
Chlorine
huge tan
bleach
there,
your
for
skin.
sure.
Oh,
Aria Mocha, Aria Tan. Okay. So At the casino at Drag Me to Hell on the weekend, you changed into your second outfit, and you told me that it was the first outfit you'd ever worn in drag, and it was a Halloween costume.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
So, I always loved dressing up for Halloween. Very much a theater nerd, very involved in Halloween. Our school had prizes for best costume, and I remember winning the costume. I believe I won it the year prior, too. I did like a dead silence thing. I had slits up my mouth, and it was the special effects gory kind, and I wanted to go for something
Dead
a little
Silence?
easier. Dead Silence.
The movie with the ventriloquist?
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie. I'm sorry, that's one of my favorite horror movies of recent times.
So I wanted to be
Anything
one of
with,
the
like,
victims.
dolls or
Oh my
anything,
gosh,
you're
I
all
love
over
it.
it.
Oh, yeah.
I had to stop because not many people are referencing Dead Silence. There's that scene where the sheet is over top of the person in the bedroom and the kettle goes and it whistles and it gets dead silent. It's really creepy.
Yes. So
Okay, sorry.
I had my inspiration for that, and then the following year I thought, I want to do something better. And so I'll go into a little bit of where this costume came from here in a second, because it segues into our next little bit here. So I had this costume. We had all of our characters set up for what we were going to do this year, and we needed one more character from Alice in Wonderland. So I thought, we need the Red Queen. We have to have her. She's the main villain of the show. We have to have her. So I thought, you know what? I'll take her on. I love doing it. I'll wear whatever. Let's try this. And I had the dress custom made for me. It was fit to my body, styled, everything. We picked out the fabrics together. I did the hair and the makeup and everything, and it was my first time officially as a drag queen, so to speak, performing. And I was in a haunted house that year, actually.
Yeah, you're right, we're going to talk about.
So it was custom made for me. I wore it as my first time in drag, and after that, my little village of 800 people that was sort of accepting of, kind of the queer community-ish, but not really, kind of started to accept it a little more when they realized how artsy it can be from a drag side.
Well, and probably you were already integrated into the community, so it was kind of like, well, we already love Carter, so...
Yeah, it's like we already love him, we already know him, and now this is just another piece of, because it started as a Halloween costume, so it was a lot more accepted as a Halloween costume, and then it grew from there, and it's still widely accepted there.
That's amazing. See, look at what you can do with making a difference. And it's interesting when you're already in the community and involved, like doing, which we're going to talk about, your haunted house and lifeguarding and school, people already were liking you, so when they saw it, they were a little more excited because they didn't want to lose you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because a lot of people have a hard time with drag queens in the family or in their family or their
It's
circle.
almoys like you have to come out again as a drag queen too when you're gay already.
Even dating, it becomes issues. We'll go to drag later. So we talk about this on the show. So you are a Halloween queen.
Yes, very much so a Halloween queen.
So did you have to wear the costume more than one time, or just that one time for Halloween?
It was just on the 31st, just on Halloween.
Okay.
And then from there it just grew. So.
Okay. So I just didn't know with what we're going to talk about the haunted house, if it was something you had to redo each night or something.
It is now. Now it runs October 31st and November the 1st.
Oh, is that the first year of the haunted house?
Yeah, this is the first year, so it only ran on one night. And all the years afterwards, we decided, you know what? October 31st is what it's designed for. It's designed as a place for kids to go on Halloween. And then we thought, you know what? We have to open it a second day for all the parents who are handing out candy. Yeah. We have to have it open for a second day for people.
So what we're saying is Carter is an owner or co-owner, I'm not sure.
Owner.
Of Halloween haunted house. In what's the name?
In Forestburg.
So what do you call your haunted house?
So our haunted house was known as the Haunted Museum. Officially name it, so we named it Scare Tactics.
Okay, Scare Tactics.
Scare Tactics.
So Scare Tactics Haunted House. You're open for a few nights every Halloween. You're open this year for Halloween.
Yeah, we're open this year on October 31st and November 1st from 6 till 8:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh! So if you want to get scared and you're in the where is it?
In Forestburg. So it's
near.
It's 2 hours southeast of Edmonton.
And what other town is nearby?
Camrose, 45 minutes east.
Okay, so if you're up in the area, then you should check out Scare Tactics Haunted House. And I know you borrowed some mannequins yesterday from me for the haunted house.
Yes.
We'll see how that works out. I'm excited to hear about your haunted house experience. I wish we could go to your haunted house.
Yeah, me too. That'll be fun.
We love that.
Well, I mean, the mannequins already scared me once, so they should be very well known, and I've only had them for a day.
The rear view of your car there.
Yeah.
Scary.
So you're going to go up there and you're going to help get it ready and put it on for 2 nights this year?
Yeah, actually, we're running it for 3 nights.
Oh, cool.
So this coming Saturday,
Yeah.
there's a train run. It runs from the town of Forestburg, and it's going to go to a town called Kelsey. It's going to pick up some more people, and then it's going to come back to Forestburg to the train station, which is where the haunted house is happening.
That is so cool. I would love to go on a train ride and then into a haunted house. Like, that sounds really cool. There's a horror movie I watched as a kid called Terror Train, so that sounds cool and spooky. I like that.
Yeah, so it's running as an extra day, sort of as like a prelude for everybody everyone always wants to see it. It's a highly anticipated event in the area, and so it's a way of just, hey, come see it before everybody else gets to see it on Halloween, you know?
That's really cool. Do you did you ever go to Sleepy Hollow, the local haunted house here, the
I
campground?
haven't yet, no.
Yeah, it
I've
used to
been
be
meaning to for a long
It
time.
used to be in a big manor, and now they've done it at the campground. I haven't been to the new version, but I'd love to.
Mm-hmm.
The Fire Hall is also doing 2 nights of a haunted house here in Lethbridge with rock and punk bands with CKXU, and if I can, I want to check that out too. So the Fire Hall would make a really spooky venue.
Yes.
So, well, that is like so cool. I didn't know anyone who ever owned a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
I love that project. And you started it in high school.
Yeah, I started it in high school. I started it in, what was it, grade 10, I believe? This is its 6th Halloween running.
Wow. So is it actually scary?
It is, actually. So the way that it's designed is we did it in a 2-level building in the museum, and now we're at the train station, which is also 2 levels. So it's got the main level and the basement.
Oh, gosh.
The way that it operates is the main level is games and fun and just a place to kind of warm up, get some, like, little bit of punch, play some games, get some Halloween treats, and then continue on if you're not wanting to get scared.
Right.
And then the basement portion is where the actual haunted area is, where you can go in there and get scared. You can also tell us if you don't want to be too scared. Also, us as actors, after the few years that we've been doing this, we started to understand more of who wants to get scared, who doesn't, based off of their reactions.
Right.
So it's set up in a way that we don't actually have to scare anybody. They can still come and see the art that goes into the haunted house as opposed to just going there to get scared.
Okay. Well, I'm like one of those people who screams a lot, but I still want to get scared.
Yeah, watching movies with you is really funny in the theater, and like everyone turns around. And popcorn everywhere.
Oh, I literally spilled popcorn on 2 people
Freshly
yesterday.
like white cheddar powdered popcorn. And then we're like trying not to laugh, but we're like saying sorry still too. Poor guy.
I said sorry. I dumped my popcorn on 2 people at the theater yesterday, and it was in his hair, and I had that white cheddar powder, so it like went in his hair. I was like,
Cloudy with things.
Getting him ready for the Halloween
Butcherson.
zombie effect.
yeah, totally. It was like, he should thank me. Oh my gosh, it reminded me of the movie, the music video Heartbreaker. Mariah throws popcorn at her evil nemesis, and she has popcorn in her hair.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Bianca.
So we're going to go into our next topic, which is Halloween movies, and the big movie that is breaking all the box office
Which
records.
is where we were at while you dumped the
I
popcorn
know.
on the guy.
So we went and saw the new Halloween movie last night.
It was amazing.
Yeah, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. The original one took place in 1978, and this is now 2018, so that is 40 years later.
Mm-hmm. And it's literally like none of the other previous sequels took place, right? It's like a direct sequel to the first one.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you watch the very first Halloween, 1978, and then watch this one. But number 2 is really good, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. And the H2O one is a really good reboot with Jamie Lee Curtis in it. So I don't want to completely forget those. And they did nods to those movies in this movie.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. So I know you haven't seen it yet, so we're not going to spoil it for you, okay, Carter?
Okay.
And if you're out there and you want to go see it, we're not going to give you the spoiler ending, but we are going to talk about the new Halloween movie starring Jamie Lee Curtis. And she tweeted an amazing tweet that went viral, so I'm going to tell you what her tweet said. Should I actually read her tweet?
Do you have it ready?
Yeah, I could do it. Okay, so I'm going to actually read you what Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted. All right, I'm going to boast for a second. Biggest horror movie with an opening with a female lead. So ever. So biggest horror movie opening with female lead. Biggest movie opening with a female lead over 55. Second biggest October movie
opening ever.
Second biggest October movie opening ever, and biggest Halloween franchise movie opening ever. So that is some woman power there.
Yeah.
And I can't believe, not even out of a Halloween genre, biggest opening of a female led movie of someone over
She
55.
even said hashtag women getting things done.
Ooh.
Go ladies.
Yes.
It was super powerful. And like there's like actually 3 like strong female leads
Yeah,
in this.
it's very female driven in this movie, but it is not for the faint of heart. The killings are brutal, and they come quickly and often.
And then you just
She the Terminator #1 scream queen of all time, and I think this being this huge box office opening and hit with Halloween, she has solidified that. So she's also on Prom Night, not only the Halloween franchise, but Prom Night and The Mist, a really good Stephen King movie. Are we having any comments that we want to
not
reply
yet.
to?
We just have a hey from your mom.
Oh, hey mom,
Hey, Mom.
I wonder if your mom's watching.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I shared it on Facebook, so you never know.
Yeah, so anyway, you can tune in, you can see us on Jess FM. You can also catch us on YouTube.
Facebook.com/JessFM.
We're everywhere.
YouTube, yep.
So Club Dee this weekend.
Yes.
Let's do a little recap of what happened this weekend. I posted all the video performances, but it's taking a really long time to load on my Facebook page, so I wonder if like Facebook is doing that copyright thing with the songs. I hate that. Like you put up a performance and they shut it down because
I think you're just flagged because you posted so many videos that they have demonetized. Honestly.
it's like you post something with Taylor Swift once and you're blocked, you know?
Yeah.
Anything from Sony, they hate you.
Yeah,
Sony Music.
Cher
hates
always
your
lets
life.
me play her music.
Yeah,
When I do
well,
a Cher
Cher's
song.
like, go gays. I love drag.
And she's like, I'm rich enough, I don't need to make money off that royalty.
Yeah, pretty
What,
much.
what do you feel about when you post a drag video and it's blocked because of the song?
I don't enjoy it. Now, if I were to edit the drag video and have the song playing as like a full backtrack with none of the audience comments or anything like that coming in, that's understandable to me
Right.
because it's essentially
A
purely
play.
a song playing
Like
with
an
a
MP3.
separate video.
Right.
Yeah. But when I share a drag video of me performing a number and it's got all the audience cheering and everything like that, I mean, everyone wants to watch those videos.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to watch these drag performances. If they can't make it to the show, they want to see this.
No. It's very frustrating when you do this performance that it's blocked, and I think I bet the artist would feel different than the company.
Yeah.
Because I think if you do an Ariana Grande song and someone doesn't know it, or maybe your performance inspired them, they're gonna maybe download that song.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it's a great venue, and what an honor to have your music or song like redone by a drag queen.
Yeah, I mean, I did a number. The number I did at the casino, actually,
Yeah.
my solo number. I can't remember the name of the song right now or the artist, to be honest. But I remember I performed that song, and then I got a message from Jordan actually saying, "Hey, I want to use this song like at the next Panty Raid. I want to use it
I
for
love
like
this.
the performance."
Yeah. Oh yay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you're exposing people to songs when you're doing these drag performances.
And they don't necessarily know all the songs that are being performed.
Totally, and people are checking like, what was that song?
Mhm.
There's this thing I always go back and forth with, and you do with performing in drag, where sometimes you got to play a song for the audience because you just need everyone to know it and be crowd pleasing, and then sometimes you got to do one that's from your heart and for you.
I think the ones that you do that are from your heart are like better performances anyway, though, because like
Yeah.
you know every single word, you really understand the message behind everything, and you put your everything into it. So that makes for more entertaining performance. But sometimes the like 45-year-old woman just wants to hear like strong enough, you know.
Well, there's something about picking, because obviously those big anthem songs like "Born This Way" or "Turn Back Time" by Cher, or "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," they're universal, and it can come from your heart and appeal to the mass audience. So you can win-win with if it's still your
Every
like,
diva
heart.
cabaret, at least one person says you should really do Cher. I'm like, oh my god, totally.
Yeah.
I always try to find a good balance. Typically, if I'm doing 2 to 3 numbers at a show, I always go, okay, I gotta know one song inside out. This has to be for me. Another song I know is gonna be for the show or the audience, and then my other songs kind of just meh, it throws up there. If it's a success, it's a success. If it bombs, well, I still got to be on stage, and everyone loved it. So
Right? No, totally. If you have more than one, you can totally do that. Where you're like, okay, do the big hit that everyone's gonna love. Like us doing Venus together. It's a big crowd pleasing because everyone knows that even if they think it's a razor commercial.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it just gets you going.
That's like the fun thing about your music taste too, is like all the ones you're passionate about are the big like crowd pleasers too. You
Tends
love
to work
popular
out.
music.
Thank
You
you.
love
I love
popular
pop music. There was some really great performances this past weekend.
Yes.
And such a variety. A lot of drag kings.
Yeah, I loved seeing the amount of drag queens that made it out to the show. Usually there's only one or two, and it was a pretty 50-50 split. I think it was only ahead by one queen in comparison, I think was the comment.
Kilowatts was interesting to go from drag queen into maybe bio queen.
I think they were calling themselves drag monarch.
A drag monarch. So I never heard the term before, but Kilowatt is a drag king, so the weird science performance went perfectly with his style. But then the reveal to turn into like
a beautiful, like kind of hyper feminine character was really cool.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that was interesting. I wasn't expecting it. So.
But it was cool, like a monarch butterfly coming out of a cocoon. Like I think maybe that's where the term is coming from. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but it was really neat.
Yeah. I was like, that was a neat take on that.
Yeah, like the Einstein wig and the goggles come off, and there's this like light up galaxy, like A-line dress and like beautiful glitter makeup on, and it was super cool.
Is it Dick Hazard?
Mm-hmm.
Dick Hazard's getting hotter as a drag
Yeah.
king. Dick Hazard was looking like really hot up there on stage.
Yeah,
so
everyone needs a little dick in their life.
Yeah.
So Heather, you were making the boys excited. It was the boys who like boys.
Stirring in that pants.
The boys who like boys excited. It was really fun. There was like the group numbers, like the crowd favorite, like the Hocus Pocus song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really.
That's
great.
like a Halloween staple too. Every show has to have like a Sanderson Sisters number.
Oh,
That
yes.
was good. I couldn't believe when you did the Heads Will Roll song, when you were rolling backwards and onto your feet. You like literally like rolled backwards in a dress and landed on your feet.
Just
somehow.
a backward somersault inside of a giant Red Queen gown.
No problem.
You need like a T-shirt that says like Giraffe Gymnastics Studios
Why
or something, because he's so tall and like you have like the longest
Yes.
limbs.
Well,
How tall are you? You're very tall.
I don't actually know. I believe I'm like 6'4" flat foot.
Like,
Wow.
he's very, very tall when he's standing up,
Yeah.
and just like because you're so skinny too. I don't know. I
See,
think
and
you're a sexy giraffe.
Your comment about my like flip and drag. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, I always say if you can't do what you want to do inside of that outfit, don't wear it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm inside of a full-length gown with a 10-foot train, I'm still gonna try to do a flip if I can do
And
it,
you will.
and I will do a flip if I can do it.
Have you ever been in that moment when you're on stage and you realize your outfit is not moving as well as you wished it would? I've had that.
I've had so many outfit malfunctions on stage.
Yeah.
Broke my heels at the last show.
Yeah.
And Drag Race, they always say you should have tested that garment.
Yeah, sometimes you
Dry
get up
rhyme,
there
test
and
the
then,
garment.
well, it's just so much work to get into it. Sometimes you're not putting it in your outfit until before you go out.
And you're not putting it, well, you're not even putting it into the full motion. Sometimes, I mean, I know, me especially, I mean, I listen to the number. I know some of what I want to do with it, but when I go and perform it, it's not a choreographed number. I don't choreograph it from top to bottom and memorize it. I go out there with an idea of what I want to do, and I'll do something completely different. Like that backwards, I'd never practiced a backwards somersault in the gown in my life. I just did it once and it was successful, and I went, okay, let's do this every show now.
Well, also,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I think if you're doing like 5 numbers and you have 4 costume changes, like you don't really do dry runs with every single thing too. You just like put it in a like IGA bag and
I mean,
keep going.
my dry runs are usually, can I get out of this outfit and into the next outfit before my number starts? That's typically what my dry run is.
Yeah. It's so much work. I basically listened to my song again and again. I acted out privately in my bathroom, and I'm really good. And then I just pray I don't get stage fright before I go out, because that has happened to me before. And you're right, the performance is elevated when you're on stage, and sometimes your performance is really elevated by the crowd response. It pushes you, right? I definitely have that experience.
Well, both of your performances were amazing this past weekend. Very, very entertaining.
I must say, I think my performance this weekend was my favorite one I've ever done.
It was probably my favorite you've ever done.
Other than
too.
my
I
Wonder
can say that
Woman, other
unbiased.
than my Wonder Woman at Pride in the Park.
I think this was even better than that. Your performance was amazing. Your outfit was amazing. Your hair, your makeup, everything. You look so good.
Oh, you're just saying
Your performance was amazing.
It's just the comment about the makeup from the paintery here, obviously,
Well,
you know.
not just the look. Your actual performance was great.
other than like honestly, like for me coming out as Wonder Woman and at the Pride, that was like an iconic moment, and for me and for the audience response was incredible. So that is probably my top rated performance. But this one, I was like, I feel like it all has come together for my drag, so I'm feeling good. I want to credit.
Step your pussy up.
I stepped my
You both did.
Yes.
Actually, because I was, I'm so aesthetically driven. I don't know, but I was giving you compliments because you like patted your body.
I patted for the first time ever.
It changed your whole look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I thought I heard you talk about it, but that was your first time padding on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause your performances are always like stellar, but I think your look even got one level up from where it has been too. I was super impressed with everyone, honestly.
In fact, a guy on my Snapchat was asking me, who is she? Who is she? What's her Snapchat? And I'm like, well, that's a dude. And I was like, just made him want to clarify.
I think he knew it was a dude and he wanted it.
It was your first look. This guy was screenshotting it and sending it back to me asking who this is. And I didn't quite feel like I could give your name out because I had never seen this person's face. So,
well, I mean, that first look actually kind of hilarious. It was very fishy, and I got the pantsuit. So the show was the Saturday night. I got the pantsuit Friday from Once Upon a Bride at their little blowout sale. I went there, got that. I picked up the hair right before I went to Once Upon a Bride from a Facebook seller. So the hair and the pantsuit were the day before. I was like, oh, I finally know what I'm going to wear.
And the table I was sitting with, they're like, I love her hair. I love her hair.
Yeah. And you did this really creepy thing. Again, I've posted all the videos, so if you're on my social media, you can see it on my Facebook page. But where Aria Ivory is ripping off her skin, and I just love the song "Cannibal" by Kesha.
Yes.
And with that song, when I'm gonna suck your teeth. I love that line so much.
I just love like when you're like,
yeah,
and, like your wig is like everywhere. It was,
that
like,
wig had so much movement. I loved the amount of.
Yeah.
I mean, it got in my lashes a couple times, and I was like, oh my gosh, like please don't rip off my lash hair. But like the amount of movement that hair had, it was enjoyable.
When you like did this with your gloves and just like there was like skin gloves underneath. And,
I've
like,
always
sinewy. It was very cool.
I've always loved watching these like panel reveals off of skin, but I always know it's coming because I can see the panel. They're never high quality panels that they peel off their skin, and so I was like, I love that look, but I want to find a new way to do it. And I was just shopping at one of the Halloween stores, and I was like, ooh, human hand gloves, like with no skin. Sure, let's buy these. I bought them, took them home, tried them on, and I went, these are for the show. I knew those, the number, and then I'm like, okay, now I have to plan everything else for this number.
Well, it was great. Are you a fan of Kesha?
I am, yeah.
I miss trash pop Kesha. She makes like all her first albums are like so. I loved the Rainbow album, but there's so much heart behind it. But I like when she would just talk through all these great songs
and like talk about
great.
Just like party girl things or like things that are like kind of cheeky and like.
Well, I'm gonna eat
like
you like a
complacent.
cannibal. I'm gonna pull a Jeffrey Dahmer. Like it's really the lyrics were always like really fun
but they're actually so witty.
Yeah. She writes well. Like I actually really enjoyed Kesha's music. Like those first two albums were really great. First three, and then kind of Die Young. Well, there was an incident with that, and then her whole Dr. Luke mess. But I wonder if she'll get back to that producing just trashy pop songs for us. Because now Gaga went into like a little more singer-songwriter with the Joanne album, and then she had the jazz album, and now she's got this Stars Born music. I wonder if Gaga will bring us back just into some fun dance disco pop again.
I feel she will.
I think she will too. I hope Kesha does some trash pop eventually too.
Yeah.
What else were some standout things? Oh, actually, so I'm going to go back to my performance. I have to tell you. So I was doing this tribute to one of my favorite horror movies, Sleepaway Camp. And not only is it cool to be a drag queen doing Sleepaway Camp, but there's a surprise at the end of Sleepaway Camp that Angela is really a boy. And so I think that's kind of interesting because her parents raised her adopted mother raised her as a boy because there was already too many boys in the house. Or girls in the house. So she raised her as a girl. So she was not actually
I already have a son. That simply won't do.
Yeah.
It's like very creepy, but you don't see it until the end. So.
Yeah, so she's not actually transgender. She was kind of forced into it by a creepy stepmother. Or it was weird. So it made it funner dressing up as Angela with a secret. And then also when she comes back for the second movie, she comes back as a camp counselor, and you always expect the camp counselors to be the ones getting killed. but she's actually the killer, and she's killing the bad kids, the ones who smoke pot, skinny dip.
She's like
or
the morality
bully.
police,
She's like
but
the-
she's like murdering everyone.
She's the morality police camp counselor. So don't smoke pot, don't get naked, and you will live. So
Don't have a shitty attitude because she'll put you in the porta potty.
she's the one when she puts someone in a porta potty. Says you have a shitty attitude, so you're going in here.
and you're a shit now.
Yeah, you're shit now. She says so. It's really awful, but. I tagged the original actress from Sleepaway Camp.
The first one, because they
Yeah.
replaced in the
actress.
second movie with Bruce Springsteen's sister. I
Bruce
think.
Springsteen's sister,
Yeah.
the boss. But the actress name is Felissa Rose, and Felissa Rose commented on my dressing up like her for our Halloween, and so she wrote, "Love this, heart, heart, heart," and I just love when someone takes a moment to appreciate their fans, like, or paying homage, and that happens a lot more in like drag community or movies.
Yeah.
It's harder to get the big celebrities to notice you. Like Taylor Swift's probably not going to like your Instagram.
Yeah.
But you're more likely to get like
I think like Taylor Swift's not even in control of her own Instagram.
a lot of
Yeah.
times, right?
Yeah, but this she obviously is in control of her Instagram, and
Yeah.
whatever the Instagram algorithms are, she totally seen your page.
Well, I tagged her, but she didn't have to comment. So I just love when you can interact with people on Instagram. Some of the less famous stars will get back to you. I mean, I've interacted with a few. Corey Lee, a Canadian artist, and
the girl who plays the voice of Jem.
oh yeah, the
Samantha
Samantha, the
Newark?
voice of Jam. Samantha and I had some converse, and
Bananarama commented on yours too. Actually, you got some good ones.
Bananarama commented on my Instagram, and also Boba Fett, the actor who played Boba Fett in the newer Star Wars movies. So I've gotten it, but they're not these big blockbuster stars, and I like when they make it personal. When you're like, because if you're doing like a Kesha song, it's like, Kesha, check out my performance, and
Yeah.
hope she gives it a heart,
Yeah.
or whoever's even in control of her Instagram gives it a heart.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really nice little treat today. And then I got in the mail today a movie called Return to Sleepaway Camp, where she reprises her role as Angela. And so we're gonna watch that tonight, and I'll tell you how it goes.
I'm excited to watch it actually.
Because you've watched the other three, you might as well watch the fourth one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, I'm so over all the B movies all the time, because we watch them all the time, and, like, I don't know, they've never really been my thing. I don't have this, like, culture behind it to follow, but I've really gotten into Sleepaway Camp
Well,
because
there
of
we go.
you,
Thank you.
which is good.
I watch a lot of movies that are maybe not like the blockbuster movies, and so I'll basically
He
Austin will
likes
watch
the
one.
trash pop, like
Yeah.
anything with a weak vocal he loves, anything with like a weak actor he also loves. Not that these are weak actors, but
Well-
they're just not big budget movies.
But I'm also seeking out female monsters, female villains, female leads. I'm always kind of looking for that offbeat thing.
Yeah, you're such a feminist.
I'm a
in
feminist.
very, very many ways.
What was some of the? Let's talk about Mama Didi dropping her new single,
Yes.
Pantychrist.
That's
Yeah.
not
Well, no,
new.
that's just the
The
remix.
Pantychrist, the remix.
Yes.
It was, because it was different, because Lindsay remixed it, DJ Rabbit.
Yeah.
DJ Rabbit did an entire remix of it, and like an official remix that's going to be out on iTunes at some point. They didn't actually announce the date, but it will
Right.
be out soon.
So, like,
It
Club
was
Didi.
good, and I love like Kyle's vocal in it too.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so good.
Mhm.
So Didi the owner of the club, performed her new track, a new remix. I mean, that was a great surprise.
Mhm. And it's kind of like the Beautiful People, like that
It's Marilyn Manson,
track.
isn't it?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
it's the remix
redone.
of The Beautiful People with Pantychrist.
Pantychrist. I love her innuendos, or whatever you call
Oh,
them.
she's funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Such a good track, too.
She did that plastic surgery, plastic fantastique.
Yeah.
I love that one.
So at the end of the night, you went to Soundgarden,
Oh well,
and I went home.
well. Did we cover all the fun things at the show?
I think so.
Baby Drag.
Oh,
Yes! Oh my gosh.
So Baby Drag was back for a new mega mix with Molly Duker, a very, very talented and fabulous performer. And this time, Baby Drag really got into it, because Baby Drag's first performance, introed at the ball game, and then came back to Club GD for a performance. But this time, Baby Drag lip synced.
Yes.
So
last time
she
Baby
was
Drag did a really high intense dance number, and we all loved it. And
Yeah.
then this time it was very large amount of lip sync lines too.
Yeah, lots to do.
Lots of curse words.
There
A
was
lot of
That
opening
little
dialogue
baby.
there.
I was like, even I was a little taken back by some of the
The verbiage.
the verbiage.
Lots of
But
swears.
I think they were going for a little bit of shock value there. It's Halloween
Mhm.
and it's all in fun. But yeah, I'm really surprised Baby Drag is back at the club performing and like. But I think she just did great and has her mother there
Mhm.
to support her and sister. So it's really cool.
Mhm.
And Molly cooked up something great with her, so that was really fun.
Oh yes.
And I really liked Molly's like little eye.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it was like from Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth, it's
Yeah.
so creepy.
The eyeball monster or whatever.
Castrati did great performing. I feel like there's someone I'm missing.
Sophie?
Sophie. Oh, Diani too. Diani did her first drag.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Devil
and,
in
Like Gianni's
Georgia.
watching too. Hey.
and Diani, great first performance. Devil came down to Georgia, and
Yeah.
Mama Didi coming out there like being the devil was pretty great.
Mhm.
And of course Adam's first drag.
Oh yeah,
And
it was Sally
Mhm.
Adams.
Sally Adams, and I loved the. I'm assuming it's like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas and Adams like Adams Family. I don't know, but that's where I went.
Yeah.
I always come up with a story in my head.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to have Sally Adams on the show to talk about it sometime.
Mhm.
Sally Adams was supported by her girlfriend Vivian Bouton, who looked
Mhm.
stunning.
The next drag queen couple.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. We got another drag queen couple out
Yes.
there. We're boyfriends most of the time, but sometimes we're girlfriends.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
We
So
need more couples out there.
now let's go with I want to talk again going with that comedy routine. Sally Adams did that monologue from Scary Movie.
And
I
totally
loved
like
that.
Carmen Electra
Yeah.
and like had the sass right down. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
so good.
I thought that was pretty great too.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that now that we've gone through almost everyone, I don't want to miss anyone who performed. I want to make sure they all get a little shout out here. Who else was there?
Oh gosh,
What
I
else do we have?
I don't know if we missed anyone.
Well, Sophie did an amazing job doing all the Sophie's
and always
corners.
a great host.
Great
always,
host.
always a great host.
Jordan's
here I'm
great,
gonna
yeah.
pull up the set list here just to make sure we haven't missed anyone.
Yeah, because all of you put in so much effort. Like, drag is not cheap, and performing is really burying your soul out on stage. And I'm so proud of everyone who gets out there and does it. And such a supportive audience to go and perform in front of. Oh, we had that impromptu
through everyone.
Goosebumps story. We got everyone?
Yep.
Well, and DJ Rabbit, amazing job as well. So thank you to everyone who made Drag Me to Hell Volume 2 such a success. And now this weekend we have a new party at Club Didi. It is the
Yes.
Halloween Panty Raid. Is that right?
Yep,
Mhm.
on the
Is there a
Saturday.
name of it?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, Halloween Panty Raid this Saturday night at Club Didi. So if you want to get into this is will be October 27th. on
Yes,
Saturday.
October 27th.
So I think that's going to be the big night for going out for Halloween parties around Lethbridge and in your town and city. So Saturday night, get your costume, go find a party. If you don't have one to go to, come to Club DD. But again, we do sell out, so
Mhm.
we just love it. And it's so funny because we're up here at Jess FM studio filming this live show for you. But right next door is Club DD, so it's like so funny.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, where do we meet? Oh, Club DD.
Mhm.
You know, just go there. So this weekend, a great party. So, yeah. Are you going to dress up in drag?
I think so. I was really jealous of everyone this weekend.
Austin thought it was a nice break.
It was a nice break. It's just like, I don't know. It's so hard to get both of us into drag and like be on time, mostly, because we are late for everything.
What?
All the time.
Us?
Yeah.
Aw.
So doing
Only
both
one of
our
them.
faces is very stressful for me. So
We're getting so quick at it. We're much better.
yeah, but we need like to dedicate 4 hours, and
Oh.
sometimes that doesn't happen.
It just seems like we're working and then we're running. Like we're working
Yeah.
full time and running.
And I don't do well with the running, especially in heels.
And also you just did the drag me back to school.
Yeah.
and
So I
then
think maybe this weekend I'll just do it for fun and.
it's a lot. And then in November we have the Condom Couture fashion show to
Yes.
so
Fun, that's
I haven't
coming
even
up.
thought about what I'm doing.
Gotta block the day off now.
Have you thought about what you're doing?
I've thought a little bit about what I'm doing. I know that everyone's going to be doing some sort of a mermaid silhouette, so I kind of want to find some way to change that a little bit.
Yeah, because it's Under the Sea is like the theme of the Condom Couture fashion
Yeah.
show this year. So I'm really trying to decide what that looks like for me as well. The songs that keep popping up in my head aren't exactly about under the sea, but one's about the beach and one's about the waves and the water. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, it just has to. I mean, there's a theme, yes, but
Yeah, how you
really,
do it.
whatever. It depends on how you interpret a song. A song doesn't have to be about the beach or the ocean or the water. It just, as long as it's interpreted in a sense that it matches the show, it works.
Totally. You just want to be the odd man out who just didn't go with the theme at all.
Yeah.
We did the Conde Couture
Walk up
fashion
there in
show.
cowboy boots.
Yeah, like I remember CC Diamonds at the Conde Couture fashion show. It was a circus theme, and we were really taking it seriously. I was like the strong woman, and Austin was the bearded lady. And then CC Diamonds was like, oh, I don't care about the theme, and like did this
Comes out in the like fur coat and pearls, and we're like, okay, go.
Yeah. And she did great. So
Yeah, it was amazing.
So I'm not. Yeah, it was not just, but like just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But-
Well, because the drag queens we're there as a performance piece, but we're also there as sort of a segue between each
runway show.
each runway show that all the
Where their theme is under the sea.
yeah
right?
their theme's under the sea, and we are performing at their show about under the sea. So it's we're kind of like a segue there to transition between each fashion runway.
Oh, you could be a sexy pirate. I was like, could be-
I didn't even think of pirates.
I was like a pirate, like at the sea, and I mean, maybe we have to go to the Halloween store after Halloween, get some discounts on some pieces, and then reuse them in the Conde Couture fashion show.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. But there's been a lot of drag, so you missing out on this weekend is not really missing out.
No, not at all.
There's
It
a
was nice
lot
break
of drag
down
that
there.
happens here now. There's a lot more now than there was, I feel, even last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've really like gone places this year.
Ooh, and there's another opportunity for a really great party coming up in December, and I think mention this.
Yeah.
We are going to do a Winter Pride. I'm going to save the name for our reveal on November 8th. But we have a Winter Pride coming up, December 29th. So there'll be some dancing and performing. So if you want something coming up this winter, we have Lethbridge Pride Fest's second Winter Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up. Carter's also a member of the Lethbridge Pride Fest board. So
Yes.
we work together a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So after Club Didi, you're going to spill some gossip about what happened after Drag Me to Hell.
This is the one I want to talk about. 'Cause I didn't even get to go there.
Oh my gosh, why did I go? Okay, so we're in Club Didi, and it's all about consent. We have lists of consent, like don't just grab someone's boob, don't just grab someone's ass, don't, consent. Like make sure that, and when you're drag, people do kind of touch you. It's weird.
Yeah.
They want to touch your hair, they want to touch your boob. It's like, it's foam. It's padding. It's
Yeah.
like, it's
You
synthetic.
almost like, I don't know, people just feel this license to like touch you, and like women really get a lot of this like in their everyday life. Except I feel like when we're drag queens, we experience that, and it's
What
so
women
weird
get.
for us as
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
to experience that. But I almost feel like it's amped up because people are like, there's always alcohol involved, and you're like a celebrity in a way.
Well,
So people really want to like touch you and like grab your breasts. And I'm like, it's like half a couch, and this is not sexy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of drag is hyper feminization of women. It's not what a woman would wear. We're like going over the top. So this almost like gives sometimes a streetwalker vibe to a normal
Well,
person.
maybe Chrissy's aesthetic.
My
Salem's
aesthetic-
a lady.
My aesthetic is very much.
I'm very fish.
Yeah, very fish, and I'm very 80s streetwalker. So that's just what it is. So
After Club Didi.
after Club Didi, I decided to go to Soundgarden, go dancing with some of the people from Club Didi, and Austin goes to Denny's with his
with
friends.
my clients and my
His clients.
friends, yeah.
So I walk into Soundgarden. This is my second
Looking
time.
like Lonnie Anderson.
Looking like Lonnie.
Legs up to her jaw.
I was wearing some pretty short shorts. And I get to the dance floor, and I'm not kidding. Every single person left the dance floor. The whole bar cleared out when I went on the dance floor. I was with 4 other people, so it's just the 5 of us, and everyone
Freaked
else left.
him out.
I freaked him out. I really did, and it was like really weird because we just kept dancing, and eventually people came back and started dancing, and then they started getting really friendly.
Mm,
But then
a little too friendly.
a little too friendly. I must say, this is not a consent place over at Soundgarden.
No.
This guy told me his name was Rex Holes and was wondering if I wanted a date. And I was like, Rex Holes? I go, well, my name's Levi Cox.
And I'm a dude.
And I'm a dude. And he
Lydia
goes,
was with you, and she was shocked at the behavior from
yeah.
people.
Another guy was asking me to go to his truck. Another guy was grabbing me. The weirdest one was a girl grabbed my crotch and said, where do you put it? Where is it? Where is it? And I'm like, well, I'm tucked. And I was just like, this is so awkward. And this guy kept kind of coming back and getting very forceful, trying to take me home.
Mm-hmm.
And Olivia, thank you, Olivia, if you're watching.
Olivia, she is watching actually.
Hi, Olivia. She was like, even she was shocked. Like, Olivia, comment if you thought that was creepy. Men were coming after me left, right, and center, and Olivia, like, stole me away into the night, put me in her car, and drove me home. So thank you, Olivia. I was like, that was overwhelming. Like,
You came home and you were like, I had to get out of there because I expected you home at like 2 when the bar closed, and you were back at like 12:31. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, it was weird. I definitely had 2 women groping me, but I had 3 men actively pursuing me. Like, and you think that like people would almost be like name calling or like you're in a redneck bar, there, you know. But it was the opposite reaction. At first, people were scared, and then they were really interested.
But you and I went to Soundgarden and Drag before, and it was kind of the same thing, like similar experience. People were groping us, and like I had like a full like orange beard and an orange wig because it was after that that Condom Couture actually, and people were like grabbing us, and it was very weird. Let's take them home, honey. I'm like, ask me first.
I had a similar experience like that. Like when Lethbridge Pulse was still open before it became Club Lime, I went out there in drag in like a Harley Quinn bodysuit sort of a thing. And it was like the swimsuit version though that wasn't like didn't cover my legs whatsoever, and I went there and I thought, oh, it's after drag show, let's go dance. And I had this guy come up and start grinding on me, and all I can remember is, I mean, I didn't have anyone else try to take me home after this. All I remember is I turned around and I went, hey. And he jumped out of his skin realizing that like,
it's
that's
like this
a man.
reality check. Though,
this
like,
instant moment of like,
your shit.
Oh God,
so
what did I just do?
Don't have to lose their shit on you.
Yeah.
Olivia's like, I was ready to lose my shit.
See, Olivia.
Yeah, Laura's like, way to go, Olivia.
Yeah. No, it was aggressive, and Olivia, it was weird because it was the women and the men, right? Like they're getting touchy. That one guy, he came back 3 times trying to get me to that truck. That was weird.
And that's the weirdest thing though, is that it's not just the guys coming after us. It's the women and the men, because the women are like, oh, well, where do you put it all? How do you get this stuff in there? And the guys are just like, well, let's go home. Like, hey.
So let this be a PSA out there to all you peeps. If you see a drag queen, treat them like every other person. Please ask if you can touch anything. Don't touch my face. Don't touch my hair. Don't touch my breasts, even if they're not real.
But buy me a drink, ask if you can touch me, and let's have a photo.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely we want a photo.
Yeah.
And use flash if it's bad lighting, because we need that flash.
Yeah, you need the flash.
Gotta look good in something, right?
So we're down to about the 5-minute mark,
we
burned through an hour.
We got 5 minutes left. Doesn't that go quick?
Yeah, very quick.
At first you're like, can we fill an hour?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, we're going to fill an hour with that little amount of stuff, but there we go.
So we're going to go into our quick current events, and here we go. So our current events are, Paula Abdul is currently doing her first tour in 25 years. And Paula Abdul is known for her dancing and her string of hits, like
and her choreography.
Straight Up, Vibeology, Will You Marry Me, Opposites Attract, Cold Hearted Snake. She's got some great songs out there, and she's out there performing live. And last Sunday night, she fell off the stage while dancing.
So we're calling her Fala Abdul.
Ooh.
It wasn't my joke. I actually said it was rude, but now I wanted to say it.
Yeah, our friend
rude.
Our friend Tegan said Fala Abdul, and I did laugh. But one of what is not funny is getting injured while performing. So
and she was just injured, like on her last tour, wasn't she?
She had a back injury, so Paula has had some back injuries in the past. So she got up after falling off stage and finished her concert like a true pro. And the official announcement is there's no damage from the fall, but
maybe just her ego, because that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But like when you like fall, you're almost embarrassed. You laugh it off, and adrenaline kicks in, and then later you're like, "Holy shit!
Like, oh my God, what happened to me?
My knee's broken, my shoulder's broken." So
shake it off.
So she did it. So Paula Abdul, good job. We love seeing again like the reboot of Jamie Lee Curtis back, seeing these older stars back like Cher, and everyone just keeps going. So
everyone's getting their comebacks.
So the nanny, speaking of comebacks, the nanny named Fran. The nanny named Fran. We always sing that song.
Yeah.
So the nanny, we've been watching it on Amazon Prime TV. We're on season 4, and it's so funny because all of a sudden we hear Nanny's getting a reboot.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's really weird because Cardi B is going to be playing her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cardi B is a huge pop star right now, and Cardi B is going to be the nanny's daughter. Is she nannying her? She adopted her? Is it her daughter? I don't know.
Yeah, like how's
But-
that gonna happen?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't really know much about. At first, I was like, "What's a Cardi B?" But now we all know what a Cardi B is. But I heard that
I'm interested to see how they're gonna tie in like the ending.
I don't know
If
the
they
ending.
are
of the
even
nanny.
going to tie in that ending into this new thing, because like the whole idea of Cardi B doesn't make sense to me as a daughter. I was like, I don't believe that. But
Right,
we'll
because
see.
she married Mr. Sheffield in the end,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
the
so
rich man. I think I haven't. We're only on season 4. We have like 4 more
yeah,
seasons.
but it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
So nanny reboot. I'm all here for it.
So my favorite thing that's getting like kind of a reboot or whatever is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes.
It's going to be a Netflix original series, kind of like following the trend of Riverdale and like the darker side of like that comic universe.
Yeah. Archie Comics.
So October 26th, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is coming out. I'm so excited. Anything witchy, I'm like, yes.
This is not the Melissa Joan Hart.
It's definitely not like a family sitcom.
I loved
It's
Melissa
going to
Joan
be,
Hart,
like,
Sabrina.
dark.
We watched that. It was like TGIF, the
Mhm.
Salem's Little
Mhm.
Talking Cat.
Which is like maybe where I got my drag name from a little bit.
But in the new reboot, it definitely looks spooky. You can see the trailers now
Mhm.
on the internet, and yeah, right before Halloween, perfect timing, October 26th.
Well, Sabrina, I invoke thee.
The other big news, and I know that you've been watching,
Yes.
is everyone is talking
The
about.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
And I only saw you yesterday, and you'd only seen like a couple.
Yeah, I'd only
episodes.
seen it. I may or may not have binge watched it after the drag show and a little bit on Sunday there. I've watched almost to the end of the season, and it's a really amazing season. It definitely picks up after the first and second episode. They're a little bit longer. There's a lot more explanation going on in there, but it's gotten so good, and I'm really excited to see the finale, which I'm definitely watching tonight.
Is it the only one episode you have left?
Yeah, there's 10 episodes in the season, and I don't know if it's going to continue after that. I believe it's just the one season coming out.
Oh, that's what American Horror Story said.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right?
probably what it is, right?
So, if you're looking for something spooky to watch, definitely go check out the new Halloween movie. Sabrina coming out right before Halloween. There's so many great shows. Oh, if you're liking something lighter, we were
Fall
talking
lineups are always great.
the Halloween Town series.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that. I know we're almost done, but we were upset because the first 3 movies, they had this Marnie actress, and in the 4th one, they replaced her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Return to Halloween Town.
But they kept everyone in the original cast. I would just hate to be the one who's like, like
Replaced.
Latoya and Latavia
Gone.
and Destiny's Child. They kicked them out and just moved in 2 girls like they didn't exist.
But
Yeah.
either way,
Well,
it's
they
still
did
a
that a couple
classic,
times,
and it's still
Destiny's
really
Child.
good.
Totally. Halloween Town, stand up. And so if you need something less spooky, check out the Halloween Town series. That is it. All we have for You Asked For It today. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Carter, for being our guest.
Thanks so
Well,
much.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'll have to have you back. That's fun.
Of course.
Well, you asked for it. Facebook and jessfm.ca.
Thank you. Have a good night. Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.